Matt Boyce recorded the highest score of his career, while 19-year-old Shiv Thakur scored his maiden championship ton as Leicestershire batted through the penultimate day of their LV County Championship match with Kent at Grace Road. Boyce and Thakur started the day together after Leicestershire lost their captain Ramnaresh Sarwan to the last ball of the previous day. They were to stay together for the next 66 overs as they added a hard-working 181 for the sixth wicket to take their side from a position of danger to one deep into the realms of safety. At 155 for 4 at one point in response to Kent's 406, it looked as if the home side might find themselves following on for the second match in succession. That had just about been avoided on the previous evening, as Sarwan and Boyce added 95 for the fifth wicket, and the Kent attack were not finding things any easier against Boyce and Thakur, who batted through the morning session with ease. When they did finally get their chance, 10 minutes after lunch, when Thakur edged James Treadwell, the opportunity was spilled. Thakur made the most of that by completing a patient half-century with another streaky stroke that evaded the slips. The youngster is a real find for Leicester. He scored 134 on his first-class debut 2 seasons ago against Loughborough University, and having grabbed his chance in the first 11 last season, he topped the averages with 4 50s in his 10 innings. This 50 had occupied 138 deliveries. That was patient, as was Boyce, who'd begun the day on 53 and had moved quietly through the numbers as his side slowly but surely closed in on Kent's first innings total. With only 5 first-class hundreds in 142 innings prior to this one, he had every right to be a little edgy as he moved into the 90s. His ton was thoroughly deserved, and it was nice to see the Kent fielders reflect that. He took 160 balls over his second 50, getting to his 100 off his 264th delivery, an innings which contained 15 fours. It had been a great effort. And he hadn't finished yet, as he and Thakur continued on well into the afternoon session. There was an old-fashioned feel to proceedings at Grace Road, with the bowlers working hard, but going unrewarded against 2 determined batsmen who may have just set up their own personal seasons rather nicely. For Kent, it was a struggle, and they must have started to wonder where their next wicket was going to come from. They conceded 4 overthrows to take Leicestershire into the 400s. And they soon took the lead with another boundary for Boyce, who was by now closing in on his career best, 122 made last season in Scarborough against Yorkshire. He got past that with an all-run 4 to deep backward square. It had been a great effort, especially considering that the day had begun with the second new ball less than an over old. Had Leicestershire lost early wickets and conceded a big first innings lead, then they could easily have been in the field at this stage, wondering what kind of total they might have been set. The excellent Thakur, who was forced home from the England Under-19 tour of South Africa with a broken finger in the winter, played a large role, of course, in that. This single took him to 86, his best score in the championship. The partnership looked set to go all the way through a second session, but on the stroke of tea, success at last for Kent, as Brendan Nash was brought on, tossed one up, which Boyce missed on the sweep to go LBW for 135. That ended a brilliant partnership, which was worth 181, a record for Leicestershire's 6th wicket against Kent, and it had put Leicestershire 25 runs ahead. They now look to press on in the final session as Thakur moved towards his ton. And this was it, a momentous moment for the youngster as he went to 3 figures for the first time in the championship. It was a magnificent effort from one so young, and one clearly with a big future in the game ahead of him, although he nearly ran himself out here with the excitement of it all. His ton had come off 227 balls with just 8 fours. Leicestershire now would have hoped to get well ahead before the close, but they lost Jiganake, run out after a hesitation, before the weather closed in to rather dampen the home side spirits. They would have liked to get a good lead before the close, but instead will enter the final day on 452 for 7, leading by just 46. A draw seems the most likely result, but stranger things have happened in this game.